Good evening and welcome to the Oliveboard platform. My name is Marut Sharma, your logical reasoning expert, and we are gathered here today to start a new topic, important. But I'll tell you some pointers about it before we start. So the topic is mathematical operators, right? Now, you have been a part of my sessions for quite a long time now, at least in some of the other courses. Anyway, a lot of you who are watching this video, this session right now, good evening guys, good evening. You are all new students, newcomers. You're starting your course, right? And I'll tell you a good thing about this topic, mathematical operators, is that almost everybody, 99% of the students can solve this topic without any major issue. Without any major issue, 99% of the students solve this and get the correct answer. Everybody is happy. Then what's the point of asking this question? Even if it is not even difficult, and if everybody, even if newcomers can solve it very easily, what's the sole purpose of asking the question? The sole purpose is we tend to forget every time that these examinations, these competitive exams are not dependent only on difficulty level. They are also dependent on time. They are also time sensitive. That means solving a particular question is important, but that is only a partial story of it. The other half is that it is very important to solve it in a stipulated time. Otherwise, it's better that you don't answer it. Rather than taking a long time to solve a simple question, you should rather not attempt it. That is going to be more beneficial. So that is, you need to learn all these, trick of the trades, that okay, how exactly, which questions I need to choose to solve, which questions I need to choose to leave, etc, etc, etc. Now, this is one such topic. So what is the problem? The problem is time. And the issue is there will be toppers, there will be cream of the students who have been preparing in the past or who have good exposure by now. So they know everything. So what they'll do is they'll be solving these questions in 20, 25, 30 seconds. And there will be newcomers who are actually taking a minute or more to solve this. Why? Because of the biggest enemy of yours, which is calculation. Mathematical operators, you will simply have to calculate. So you end up calculating everything, getting an answer and putting it. But just understand, if they simply wanted you to calculate with numbers, with operators, there was no point of putting it in logical reasoning. They would have simply asked it in the quant section. So why is it being added here? Because everything which is added in logical reasoning has a different approach than the conventional one. Okay, and if there exists none, then you can make your own. That's the beauty of logical reasoning. So try to think from that perspective. In today's session, by the end of the session, I'll be giving you those important pointers and we'll be solving good level questions, good exposure to actual examination questions, which will give you a better understanding. Okay, so let's start. So when I talk of mathematical operators, what are the primary operators we talk of? We talk of the primary mathematical operators: plus, minus, multiply. But that's not it. That's not it. We can also talk of numbers being squared or being cubed or being raised to an exponent in general, in power actually, order, and getting the root, the cube root, or getting the nth order, nth root. So technically these are nothing but simple exponents, thirds, indices, okay, regular exponent. So what do we have? Plus, minus, multiply, divide, and order, power. Okay. Now, how do we approach these questions? Of course, we know only one method to solve these questions in an expression, which is the utilization of BODMAS. Brackets, order, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So first, anything with brackets will be solved. Anything inside brackets solved first, followed by order, anything in exponents, followed by division, multiplication. You all know that? There's no problem at all, right? So this is the basic, and actually there is nothing to learn here, but only those 4 or 5 pointers which I am going to share after I am going to give you an exposure of what type of questions are asked, right? So next, now we'll move on to the type of questions involved in mathematical operators. There are 3 major types of questions. Okay, three major types of questions are involved in mathematics. Type number one is the coded type. And I will list those three methods, those three ways, those three approaches to the questions, how they are asked, and they are enlisted with increasing order of difficulty. The coded ones are the most easiest actually. Then you will have slightly difficult, then you will have most difficult. Okay. So under coded category, what happens is they will give you something like a code. They will tell you that if in a certain code, if plus implies minus, minus implies divide, divide implies multiply, multiply implies plus. Anything they can ask you, any code they can give you. Okay, so then what will be the answer of, let's say they will say 10 plus 4 divided by 2. They'll ask you what is the answer of this. Okay, so what will you do? You will replace the codes, right? So plus implies minus, minus implies divide, divide implies into, implies plus. 15 divided by 4 is 4, 4 into 2 is 8, whole thing will give you 8, and 10 minus 8 plus 5, 10 minus 8 plus 5. So you will add these two first, 15 minus 8. Okay, that's the answer. Simple. It's the most easiest thing which can be asked in mathematical operators. Remember, apart from giving you codes like this, they can also ask you to swap any two signs. Swap means interchange. They will ask you if plus and minus are interchange and multiply and divide are interchange. That means wherever there is plus, you put minus, and vice versa, wherever there is minus, you put plus. So only in one interchange you are changing two signs simultaneously. Or they will give you something with letters. They will say if A implies plus, B implies minus, C implies divide, and D implies multiply. And then instead of these signs in between, there will be letters 10, A, 16, B, 4, something, something. Then they'll ask you what is the answer. Same thing only. Instead of A, B, C, D, you'll write the signs and solve. Eventually, what needs to be done here is solve. That's it. Just change the signs according to the code and solve using BODMAS. Gradually, you will learn a method with which questions can be done slightly faster in this case also, but this is the easiest question approach where nothing new needs to be introduced to you. Right? The second type, the swap type. Slightly more difficult. Slightly. Okay. And this actually, some of the students struggle here initially. They'll take a lot of time in the initial stages. So I'm giving you an expression. What happens here is, I'll give you an expression. The expression written. They are asking us which two signs should be swapped to make this equation correct. Okay, so these are the options. Which two signs should be changed make this equation correct? So what will you do? You will check. Should I change into and divide? No, it's not helping. Should I change plus and into? Not helping. Should I change plus and divide? Divide here, you will put plus here, and then you realize 15 divided by 5 3. 3 into 3 9. 9 plus 4 13. Yes, option. So 99% of those students who are actually able to solve these questions, they will approach it like this only. They will solve each option. They will swap each option and check where am I getting the correct answer, and they'll tick mark on the correct. That's how you basically solve. But that's the second type of question, swapping based. Okay. Now in swapping based, what they can ask you to swap the signs, they can ask you to swap the numbers, they can ask you to swap both signs and numbers. So that again becomes more and more difficult. But this is again the different ways of presenting the same question. So the foreground will keep on changing, the background is the same. Okay. And now we look at the third type. The third type I can call it replacement or substitution type. Okay. Third type will be replacement or substitution type. This seems to be the most difficult to a lot of students. If I just reciprocate the same expression here, 15, 5, 3, 4, 13, and they will put asterisk marks or anything, you know, any blanks, etc. in between. Now they will give you options. These are the four options. They are asking you, place them in a correct order to solve this and make this expression or equation correct. Now what will we do here? We'll again check option wise. That's how you know right now. You will see 15 plus 5 into 3, okay, 4 divided by 13 not making 1. So finally you will reach option C and you will see 15 divided by 5 is 3, 3 into 3 is 9 plus 4 is. Okay. Now these are the three major types of mathematical operators, three basic types of mathematical operator variations, and again within them there can be multiple variations of how they will present the question. This much everybody knew already. Just the type, I mean you were not aware of the types, but I'm sure how to solve them, everybody has their own method only, the same method that you know, apply each option and check. I'm talking about newcomers, students who have started new. But there are tricks which if you learn can make the approach much easier than what you think it is. Okay, so what are the tricks? So number one trick is hit the division. Hit the division sign. It's going to help you the most here. How to do that? So let's come to the swap case or the replacement or substitute. In the swap case, what did I do? I checked for each option, right? This one is normal only. This one won't require any help of that sort. You'll have to check it here. Rather than going through the whole thing, you should only check for those options where the division is making sense or not. Okay, where division is making sense or not. So now observe. Here 3 divided by 4 was given. If I take 3 divided by 4, I will end up getting a fraction, not be solvable. But my answer which is required here is an integer. So if I am getting a fraction and I require an integer, it's not possible. That means this division is misplaced. This division is not at the right place. It has to be in a place which is flanked by two numbers which are divisible with each other. That means division will be between two numbers which are divisible. So now check for the options with division. So division and multiplication. I'll put division here. That's useless because 5 divided by 3 again is not of any purpose to me. So this is gone. The other option is divide and plus. So that's the only option I have. I'll have to put it and check. So I'll exchange divide and plus and I'll get my answer. Wonderful. So option C is the correct answer. Now I did not have to check option B and D. I straight away checked two options, got my answer. Okay. In the third case, how will we check? Again, we can see with division. There is division here between 4 and 13 not making sense. So this is 1. Division here between 3 and 4 not making sense. So this is 1. Division in both the cases is between 5 and 15 and 5. In both the cases, if it is between 15 and 5, you will see this is 3 now. 3. Now you check both the options. 3 into 3, 9 plus 4, 13. Yes, right. 3 plus 12 is 15. It's not 13. It's also incorrect. Option C is the correct one here. Again, division is going to make it much more easier, much more quicker for you. The first step you need to identify. But remember, each time it might not simply be division alone, because if the question was like this, 3 divided by 4 by 12. Now if you read it like this normally, you will see that okay, first we'll have to divide. 3 divided by 4 is not possible. So technically this will not be true. I'll have to swap my division. But to observe carefully, this division is flanked by a multiplication. Nothing but 12 into divided by 4. This 4 can get cancelled with 12 and the final answer is 9. Still an integer. So this is valid. You need to be observant about this change. So what I'll write here is, I'll write division or tanked by multiplication. You have to observe both of them. You have to observe both of them. So first check for division. If if at all you're finding a logic where division is not working, just check if there is any multiplication flanking it. If it is, then check whether there is any cancellation. If not, then proceed. If it is there, then you solve it and then check whether it is working for you. Okay? Understood? That's the first step. Now, we'll move on to the second step. Second step, the biggest enemy for students in these questions is calculation. Either you're very slow at calculation or you end up calculating the whole thing to find the answers, to verify. That is also a problem. You need to only calculate partially. So you need to be aware of partial calculation. What is partial calculation? Partial calculation means if I have a question here like this. So if I am checking that if I am having, I need to check for plus and into, or for, I said no, plus into and divide I said, right? Divide will be here not solvable. Okay, plus and into. I have changed plus and into here. So I am having this as 15 into 5 plus 3 divided by 4. Look, leave 3 divided by 4. 15 into 5 plus 3. So 75 plus 3. 78. Don't do that. Randomly check for yourself. Okay, 5 plus 3. Not going to be 13. Only going to increase it. So leave it. Not my answer. Are you getting it? So be smart with your calculation. Don't calculate the whole thing and find the answers. This is a very small expression, so it is still easy. If the expression becomes very large, you end up solving very large quantities. So if I have somewhere something like 85 into, let's say 30. So think 80 into 30 is 2400, 2400. If my answer is, 190, then this is definitely not helping me out. So I need to avoid this calculation. Please don't sit and multiply 84 and 34 and 32 or whatever. Because that is only going to cost you time. You don't need to do that. So approximate. Use approximations to go closer to your answer. If you think you will be able to go close to the answer with this logic, with this option, only then solve it completely and check. Otherwise, reject it. That will help you to eliminate more and more options. Okay? So this is partial calculation. The second thing which you need to be careful about, which you need to be wary about. Now, the third point is a very interesting point. And this is specifically used for swap based questions. Specifically for swap based questions. The first approach, as I told you, was division. Okay, and then we checked for the options. We eliminated at least 2 options. For the other 2, we checked and got our answers. Sometimes you will not be able to understand. Even if division is working in your favor, you will still not be able to understand what is the correct answer. So you have only one option, you'll have to solve all 4 of them. But that is still not a viable option. So what you do is, only check, you partially check the given equation. Whatever is given to you beforehand, even before swapping, you check it first so that you will know where is the discrepancy. Where is the problem? Once you understand that, then it becomes easier. For example, for this one only I am checking. Okay, for this one I am checking. So I checked it. I said 3 divided by 4. So I got to understand that, okay, division is a problem. So now I know division is definitely going to go. So I have only 2 options to check from. I checked it and I got my answer. Okay, so whenever they are asking you to swap, you need to solve the whole thing and check where is it going wrong. Okay, if supposedly here there was a multiplication here. So again, as I told you, this was 75. Roughly also, if you think this is more than 70, this is 70 plus adding, we are adding 3 to it, going outside our range because our range is 13 only. So leave it there. That means the problem is here. The problem is here. Multiplication should not be here. It should change. So the idea is you solve this equation partially, this one, whatever is given to you, which is the incorrect one for sure. You already know it is incorrect. Solve it partially and check where is the discrepancy. What is incorrect? What is the anomaly? What is the outlier? Once you identify that, you have to work on swapping that particular sign so that it works in your. I will display each of these when we are starting to solve the questions, probably in the next 10 minutes max. so that you will be able to understand better with visual examples. But try to listen to me right now. Try to capture what I'm trying to say. Okay. So the third method, which is solve the swap equation partially. Solve equation swapped. Wherever there is a swap case involved of signs or numbers, solve that first. Why do we do that? Check. What exactly is the error? If you can identify the error, then it will become easy for you to solve it from there on. Okay. And one more trick helps you, which is vertical option. Okay. What does that imply? Like here. Okay. I saw that these two are not viable. So I have this option now. So now I know the front place is divide only. So I'll straight away divide this. I'll write it as 3 and then solve the remaining. Because vertically, supposedly I have all the 4 options with the first position is divide only. So I don't have to check that only. I will put divide here, solve this much and reduce my equation and then approach the question again. So you can always take hint from vertical options as well. Vertically something is same everywhere. Then that is your sign for sure. You don't have to think twice. And sometimes the vertical placements will also help you. Like here we had into at the second position for 3 options. So most probably second position is in into. That will also give you a better hint sometimes. Sometimes it may work against you also. So you will have to learn, apply these logics, make your time, cut short your time, but you need to be very careful. What will happen is gradually, if you keep doing this to yourself, repeatedly, initially you might face some frustration because you will, take some time to come to you. But once it does, your speed is going to improve, at least 2x or 3x here in this case. And what are you going to do is, most probably you will always isolate the correct answer. So now I'll show you some places where you don't even have to verify. The biggest time waster for a lot of you is verification. If you are eliminating options and if you have successfully eliminated 2 options, the third one you have also understood that this is not possible because whatever answer I get, I don't know the answer, but the answer is going to be out of range of my given answer. So I'll have to reject it. So I'm only left with one option. After selecting that option, you will end up still confirming it, solving it and getting the correct answer, and then you will tick mark. You're still wasting your precious 10, 12, 15. Solve it. Save that verification time also. If you can eliminate everything, eliminate 3 options, get the correct answer, tick mark and move ahead. Start building that confidence. Learn to take risks at this stage itself. Push yourself to do that. And the more you are accustomed to it, the less awkward you will feel when you're actually writing your examination. Otherwise, you will never be able to build into that habit. You will always be scared. You will always be the good person. I'm the good guy. I'm the good boy or the good girl. I don't do this. I can't take risk. I have to be accurate. I have to be accurate. It's not the sole game of accuracy and it's not the sole game of speed. It's the balance of both of them. And there has to be a sweet spot which you need to identify. Okay, cool. Anyways, I think this much information is sufficient for you to be able to solve the question. Now we will observe live on the examples how you need to approach to the questions. Correct? So this is the very first question in front of you. Let's see how many of you answer correctly. Purni Chandrasekhar. Okay, welcome, bacha. Don't worry, we have started from ground zero. Don't worry, absolutely. Okay. So this is the very first question. Okay, just read it carefully and try to answer it. Simple. Absolutely simple and crisp. Nothing much needs to be done here. Okay, very nice. You have already completed a batch. Good thing, beta. I think then you have a fair understanding of how to approach. Very good, Ramanna, shabash. So what do we have to do? The question is asking us that if plus and minus are interchanged, that means instead of plus I have minus, instead of minus I have plus. And similarly, into and divide are interchanged. So this is into and this is divide. What is the answer? Simple. 147 divided by 7 is 21. 163 multiplied by 3. I have told you many times in the past, I am telling you again. Break it into digits and solve. There are two options to solve 160. The first one is 300, 180, that is 480 and 9. Okay. The other one is better. 160, 160 into 3, that is 480 plus 9. So 489. This is better option. Please don't multiply. Don't pick up your pens and actually sit and multiply. Remove that, overcome that habit. This is 489 minus 21 plus 1. 489 minus 21 plus 1. Now what do? A lot of you are going to solve this as minus 20 and subtract it to get 469. You are absolutely right. But I would advise you against it. Why? Because sometimes if you just simply proceed from left to right, you might end up getting the incorrect answer. It happens. So the best approach is again go by board mass. So if this is plus 489 plus 1 is 490 and 490 minus 21 is 460. This is a better approach. So always going to yield a correct answer. Okay. This question, this particular question, the previous year question of a second exam level. Second exam level means second step. Okay. It is like a mains exam. For example, if you are sitting for an RRB NTPC, this of CBT 2 level has been asked in some previous year exam. You can check it. I have not labeled it on purpose because I don't want to scare you off. But if the level is more or less the same only. It's how you approach the questions is what is more. Right? Next question. Swapping based. All your questions and doubts will be answered. Yeah. Purni Chandra, absolutely right. Not a problem. Still okay. There is some variation in RRB though. Some variation that needs to be practiced. For example, they'll ask you some more questions of clock and calendars. There will be slightly more focus on critical reasoning. There will be good questions of puzzle and sitting arrangement in RRB exams. And there will be some miscellaneous topics which you can never prepare for. There will be random questions in RRB which SSC never does so far. So there is a slight variation. You focus on the core preparation first and then think of, parallel studying. When the SSC exam comes up, only study for that part. When the RRB exam comes up, only study for that part. That's a smart way of progressing. Okay. So how do we proceed here? I'll tell you both the methods, guys. Method number 1, we'll hunt the division sign. Now division sign here is appropriate. There is no problem here. 42 divided by 7 is 6. So we'll quickly confirm and eliminate. Division in minus. If I put divide here, is it making any sense? No. Not making any sense. It's giving a fractional output. And divide and plus, same problem is here. Okay. Both these are gone. Now I have only two options. For these two options, I definitely have to change the multiplication sign. That means this goes. Now who do I change it with? So now put your brains to use. I have 11 into 87. Okay. And if I multiply 87 and 12, it's not going to make much of a difference. If I am exchanging it with into, it's not going to make much of a difference. Also, if this will become minus, this unit in itself will become a very large negative quantity, but I need 141 as my answer. So this is also incorrect. There's only one answer left now. In the exam, I would like you to just mark this and move on. But the problem is, everybody is going to solve and confirm whether they got the right answer or not. Now you can see live demo of you losing your time. Okay. Now, what is the second approach? I know a lot of you want me to solve it, so I'll do it for you. We have to change into and plus. So this plus, this 42 divided by 7 is 6, into 11 is 6, plus 87. 140 is 150 minus 12. Done. Partial solving and everything in your head. Least use of pen and paper. Now, The other approach, I'll show it to you. What is the other approach? The other approach is you don't look for the division sign. You solve it partially. Solve this equation and find out where is the problem. What is the anomaly? So this is 6. Okay. This is, don't solve it completely. 7 into 11. This is more than 880, right? And so do 80 into 11, no? This is more than 880. A positive sign. Even if this is 6, this is 12. You can reach nowhere. It's possible for you to reach 141. So what is the culprit? The culprit is this into sign. You need to change the multiplication no matter what. That is the biggest problem for you. There are only two options with changing multiplication. Check for these two options, you will get your correct answer. So again, now you will use your smart brains. You have to change multiply. Multiply and 87 here, 11 and 87. If I put multiply here, minus here, again the same thing. It's the same thing only, nothing is changing. This is useless. So now I found out that this is the answer, but now I cannot tick mark because I have not checked these two. So what I'll do is, once I get this, I will confirm this and then put the correct mark. Okay. But either of these techniques are going to help you land on the correct answer much quickly and much easily. This is the swapping based question. Everybody, did you understand? This seemed to be slightly more time consuming and difficult than the previous one. It happens, that's simple, right? But the more you understand, the better you're going to get at this. Keep practicing. Don't lose hope. These are very simple coded versions. You can get quick answers here, everybody. Any PYQ book you can pick up. I won't take a particular name. Any book which has PYQ, not an issue. Thing is one and the same only. But I would recommend pick up PYQ books only. Okay. PYQ based questions are always better. It's going to give you a fairer exposure. Okay. Plus means divide. Plus means divide. Minus means plus. 2 means minus. Divide means solve. So this is 5. 40. 40 plus 5 minus 5. Is that all? Everyone? Why am I not getting answers from everybody? Only a few of you are answering. Now F means minus, E means into, E means divide, plus solve. 10 divided by 30 is 1 by 3. 15 into 1 by 3 is 5. 10 by 30 plus 43. I'll write it so you understand. 1 by 3, 5. 5 plus 43 is 48. 48. Next. Good, very good. A means divide. A means divide. E means into. E means plus. 6. plus 34 minus plus 40. Now please don't solve it left to right. Board mass again. So pick up all the positive ones. 6 plus 34 is 40. 40 plus 46 and minus 30 minus 16 minus 40. What are we left with? Option A is the plus and minus are interchanged. This is minus, this is plus. And 45 divided by 5 is 9. 93 5. When we multiply by 5, we'll divide the number by 2, then multiply by 10. In the sense, we'll take half of this. What is half of 90? 46. And then multiply by 10 means move the decimal one step forward. So, okay, minus 4 plus 9 plus 5 basically. Technically, it should be 474 minus 4, but one in the same. Small numbers, you can do that. Plus and minus are interchange again. Minus plus divide into. Now 99 divided by 9 is 11. 39 into 5. What is half of 39? 19.5. So this is 195. 195 minus 8 plus 11. Again 198. Right? Take your time at this stage, but gradually we need to push this. Not now. And build your accuracy at these stages even when you're practicing. But be aware that you need to push after a while. Plus and minus are replaced by divide and into respectively. What is the problem in this question? Problem means what is the primary issue where you're going to get trapped in. Now you have solved 2-3 questions where they were being interchanged. So you'll read it again, plus and minus. You will again interchange plus and minus. Multiply and divide. Now it's lucky that you can't solve it. Get stuck here. Okay, then you will read it again. But sometimes, even after doing this, they will be able to solve it. You will get an answer which will be there in the options. Incorrect. because you have read and understood the question. It now says that plus and minus are replaced by divide and into respectively. Plus is replaced with divide, plus. Now solve it. 45 divided by 4 into 72 plus 4 minus. Okay. Basically, it is saying plus and minus are interchanged. Sorry, plus is interchanged with minus. Minus with divide, divide with plus, and not change. Right? Okay. 120 minus 6 divided by 8 into. Okay. Same question was here, but the expression was not. Now you can do this. Ninth question. Plus is replaced by minus, minus is replaced by divide, divide is replaced by plus, and just change the code and solve the question. Code solve the question. That's simple. Okay. Minus is replaced by divide, plus is replaced by minus, divide is replaced by unchanged. 120 divided by 6 is plus. Add these two, 108, 8 minus 30. You can also use the units digit here. Also use the units digit. Minus 1 is only going to be 7 in the units place, which is only in option C. Though the difference is not very difficult to calculate. Now again, plus and minus are interchanged. Divide and into 9 into 6, 4 plus 7, 8 is the correct. This is now the third type. Third type. Of asterisk now, they have left diamond shaped blanks in between, rhombus shaped blanks, and you need to fill in with the correct order of signs. So what is going to help you? Division. Okay. Eliminate any doubts about option A first. Eliminate any doubts about option A first. 1, 2, 1, 2 here. And there is a flanked multiplication. That and check. Can I cancel 7 and 54 by 7? Anything good coming out of this fraction? Option A is not possible. Okay. Now look at the other options. The moment you come to the other left remaining options, you will see that vertically first position is divide, vertically second position is multiply. Now solve this much. 56 divided by 8 is 7. 7 into 4 is 28 now. Okay. 28, 7, 50. Now check for the rest of the options. Check for option number B. Equal to here, plus and plus. 28 is equal to 7, 50, 15. If you add them, are you ever going to get 28? No. So gone. Okay. Minus 28 minus 7 and 50 into 15. Are they equal? Not at all. Don't even have to check for the values here. Now you know option D is the right answer. Please tick mark and move ahead. Don't check. That's the power of elimination. You're just checking, partially solving, eliminating, finally coming to the correct answer, tick and move ahead. Restrain from checking. For your sake, I will do it right now. Okay. Again, you learn to take that risk. Sometimes you'll feel that I should check, I believe, because this can be a different question. Do that. But sometimes you need to take that risk. So for option D now, we will see plus 2 minus. This is 35. This is also 35. Option D. Another good one. Now see, first convert this. This is 4. Fourth root of 250. 4, 9, 26. Check for division sign. Have division here, 4 divided by 9. Is it making any sense? No. Gone. In these two options now, we have division here. One is here, 2 are here. Most probably this one of them should be the correct answer because they are being repeated. Let's just check it here. 1, 2 divided by 18 equal to 2. Not possible within a bracket. So it's also gone. Now we have quickly eliminated two options without actually solving anything. So now what are we sure of? We are sure of that there is a division sign here. Okay. Now 7 is equal to, just imagine, everything is increasing, multiply, plus, multiply, only this minus sign is here. So do you think after so much calculation you are going to get 7? So multiply here, this is 36, added to 33, subtracting 26, plus 9 into 4, 30. Okay. Or do you think this one will be the correct one? So check this one first. This one seems more logical. So 4 into 9 plus 26 equal to 33 plus 8. Observe now. Observe. Don't solve it completely. 4 into 9, 36 plus 26. and this is 33 plus 36 minus 7. 33 minus 7 is 26. Again 26 plus 36. One is the same thing only. There's a balance, option D. Okay. Refrain from solving the whole thing. The expression is quite large, but even then if you solve the whole thing, is going to take up a lot of your time. So partially only we confirmed and we got our answer as option. So one by one, stepwise, keep eliminating, keep progressing. Next. Now this is a different variation of the same question. Okay. The question is asking you, if I am changing 4 and 6, given on the top 4 and 6. If I am changing 4 and 6, which of the following equations will not be correct? Okay. Now what is the meaning of this? The two numbers and not digits. That means if there was a 14 and 16, like it is here, so you don't make it 14. This is not what you want. Okay. You want to change only numbers. So 6, 4 will be 4, this is 6, this is 4, this is. Now solve and find the answers and check. Okay. Which one is not correct? You will have to do this. The only thing you can do here is partial checking. Partial solving to get your answer. So 4 into 5 is 20. 20 plus 2 is 20. Minus 6 is correct. 6 plus 5, 11 minus 4 is 7. Correct. 4 divided by 2 is minus 30. Minus 28. Correct. So option D. They're asking you which is incorrect. Mark it. Move ahead. 4 into 3 is 12. Minus 6. Divided by 1 is 6, not 3. But what is the error which we make here? The error is we fail to read this not in the examination. So what we'll do is we'll see that okay, 4 and 6 are changing. We need to find the correct equation. You assume that we'll solve this. You get the first answer is correct. You will mark and you'll move ahead. Be careful while you are reading these instructions. They are also very important. Can make or break your question. Now this one is slightly different. Slightly. Not is removed. So now they're asking after changing 1 and 7, which equation will be correct? See, as I told you, there can be multiple variations which are possible. Okay. Multiple variations are possible, but the basic structure will remain the same of the question. Right. One and 7 we are changing. Which of them will be correct? This is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1 into 2 plus 7, 9 minus 5 is not. 7 into 2, 14 plus 4 minus 1 is 7 into 2, 14 minus 2 plus 1. Minus 2 is 13. Option C. Okay. These are one of the best questions. These seem to be the most difficult variations for students. So far I had taught you that the swap method will either be for numbers or will be for symbols or signs or operators. In these questions you have to check both of them. Question is trying to ask you which two numbers and two signs should be swapped to make this equation correct. That becomes slightly, I want you guys to try this one. Give it some time. Give it some time. Which two numbers and which two signs should, again, a lot of students, how they normally used to solve these questions by picking up each option, solving, very long process. Only if you're lucky, maybe you'll get an answer here on the very first option and get your correct. Otherwise, you'll end up taking a lot of time. So how do we approach this question now? So again, same method only. You first check what is division doing here. 6 divided by 5. Is it making sense? Division has to go. Either division goes or 5 changes. I can have a number with 6 divisible by 5. Do I have it anywhere? No. With 6 only 5 is changing. It is not going to help out directly. Or I should change 5 with a number which is smaller than 6 and is divisible by that. Is that true? No. That means division is going and 6 and 5 both can also change their place. I can check this option first because they are not changing place with anybody else, right? So let's change both of them and let's check this out. So division and plus are changing the sign. So this is division, this is, and 6 and 5 are also exchanging. So 5, this is making sense. Yes, it is. The moment you slightly swap it, you need to check whether it is making sense or not. If it is making sense, proceed. Confirm. So you will see 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 into 4 is 16. 70 plus 6, 76 minus 16 is 60. Great. That's the power of elimination and restricted checking. You're picking up your options. You are actually isolating the correct answers, taking that risk. Okay. So again, division sign helped us to start. Also, if you observe option A, B and C, division and plus, division and plus, division and plus are going in all the three cases. So in majority of the cases, division and plus are going to go. Because if I exchange division with multiply, here, I will have to change 4 with a number which is greater than 20 and divisible. Is that happening? No. Or I change 20 and 4. That can be possible, yes. But that will also not yield the answer. Okay. Try it again with a different set now. Rag Singh has a Rag. You are liking the session so far and you are getting to learn something new. I am very sure a lot of you have learned something new today. Those who are newcomers. Newcomers means your foundation students, you're starting. A few of you will be students who have already prepared in the past. So they may be aware of this. Majority of you are going to learn something new. Again, which two numbers and which two signs should be interchanged to make the given equation correct? So let's attack the division sign again. Question is here. Obviously, 25 divided by 12 is not possible. Either we change 25 with a number which is greater than 12 and divisible by 12, or we change 12 which is the number which is less than 25 and divisible by 25. So do we have the option? We have 5 and 12 are being changed here. That makes sense? Yes. 5 and 12 are being changed into, okay, or we have 24 and 5 being changed. Is that helping out? No. 36 or 25 also is helping. 5 can be exchanged with 12, that is also making. Okay, division is not going anywhere. So division is going to stay here only because none of the options are changed. Now what do I do? If I change 5 and 12, I have 12 and 5 here. 5. And I am changing into and minus. Into and minus. So 12 into 36 and 5 minus 12. 5 minus 12 into 36 is going to be a very large number. Not going to help me out. Cancel. Plus and minus now. Check for plus and minus. Plus and minus. Now confirm. 5 into 12 is 60 plus 36 96 minus 21. Voila. You've boiled it down to the correct answer. Just one check. One check and you got your answer. So the primary idea is for you to understand, isolate, understand, approach. Isolate, identify. Okay. It's not, I'm not saying that it's never going to happen with you. It is going to happen sometimes that even after checking both of them, you will still get an incorrect answer. So then you will have to proceed further. But that's going to be very rare. Maybe if you give 100 questions, maybe 10 questions will be of that sort, where you might have to check all the 4 options because the examiner has set the question in such a way because they want you to check all the 4 options. But majority of the times you will be able to get away with checking 1 or 2 options at max. Okay. Similar question again. Try this. Now here again, if we see, we have a division sign being changed. Divide and plus are being changed. It is going. Then you will need your 10. So 3 will be changed by a number which is greater than 10 and divisible by 10. It's not happening anywhere. This is definitely not my answer. Not going to. Okay. Now I can divide 27 and 9, not a problem. What does that give me? That gives me 27 divided by 9 is 60 into happening here. Now this is 180 plus minus 180 plus 10. Negative 180 is a very large quantity. So multiplication is going to go. This is now clear to you. Okay. Multiplication is definitely going to go. It's only in one option here. Is it? Multiplication is going to go. So there's only one option. So if I change multiplication with plus, does that help? This is multiplication plus. Now 3 minus 60 plus 30. It's still a negative quantity. So this is also eliminated. So now if I'm not changing division and I'm not changing multiplication also, that means I need to change these two numbers, either of these two numbers, to shorten this gap, to reduce this negative number. So I will pick up this option. 63 and 10 I can change. So what will happen is, if I make this as 10 and if I make this as, this will significantly reduce. So this 3, just let's confirm, 3 minus 10 plus 60. It's still working in our favor? No, it's not. Still not working in our favor. So option D is the correct answer. See, I told you, sometimes it will happen, you will have to end up checking all 4. But that will still yield a good answer for you. 27 and 63 if we see, that means 63 divided by 9 give us 7 minus 27 into 3 plus 10, and we are changing plus and minus, plus 7 81 minus 10. So this is 88 minus 10, it is 78. So option D. If at all you have checked 3 options and they are not correct, be confident that you know you have checked it correctly. Tick mark the 4th one and move ahead. Reach that stage. Currently you will make some errors, but reach that stage. Let's keep this as the last question for today. This is a simple one. We just need to check which 2 numbers need to be swapped, need to be interchanged to make the equation. So again, let's check division. Division is here. 45 divided by 3 is 15. So changing division is not making sense. If I mean changing these numbers is not making sense. Change with 18, this will become 6. But what is the exact problem? Just look at that. 81 plus 15 minus 1, 160. Now minus 160 and 90 minus 160. Large negative quantities. If I change 81 and 18, this is not going to make sense because it will become further a greater quantity. 45 and 18 again not making sense. 3 and 9 can make some sense. 45 and 9 is also not going to make sense because this quantity is getting larger and larger no matter what. Now I am very sure option C is the right answer. Without actually solving anything, just by common sense I can realize that option C is the right answer. Just confirm it once. So this is 9, 3. What? 5, 1 plus 5 minus 50. 86 minus. Cool. Right? These are the tricks which you can use. Shorten your time for calculation on mathematical operator based. Try these tricks, bring them in your constant practice. That is how you will gradually get faster with it. But don't rush right now. At this stage, keep practicing as much as you can. Take a lot of time, solve the questions. And also, please remember, I have told this to multiple students, this is not a school, neither it is a school examination. So it is not restricted to use only those methods which I am teaching. What can happen is gradually you need to be open to all variations. The more questions you solve, sometimes your brain is going to give you a better option, a better approach, more commonsensical, a quicker approach. Pick that and be open to this. Be open to change. Don't always stick to the same thing. Keep evolving, keep growing. That is how you'll keep getting faster and better at your solving and overall attempts and practice. Thank you so much for joining live, guys. I'll see you around in the next session. Hope you had fun and hope you learned something new today. Bye-bye. Namaskar.